Our final regular season weekend of Major League Baseball continues tonight at Turner Field in Atlanta, where another standing room only crowd is gathering for Game 2 of our 3-game series between the Mets and the Atlanta Braves. And hi again, friends. Along with Joe Simpson, I'm Chip Carey. Welcome back to the ballpark. Chipper Palooza continues tonight. It's Game 2 of the series. And really, Joe, an opportunity lost for the Braves last night. The Nationals were clobbered by the St. Louis Cardinals. The Braves lost a heartbreaker by a 3-1 count on Lucas Duda's home run yesterday. So the Braves are 4 games back and running out of time for the division race. It would appear the Nationals are sitting pretty. The question is, are they really?
Well, the Braves are now 4 games back with 5 to play, Chip. So it kind of boils down to, are you going to cry about that, or you got to be careful of what you wish for? Because if you are the division winner, you're going to wind up sitting, especially if you have the best record. If you win the division and have the best record in the National League, you've got to go on the road then after the wild card game and play the first 2 games of the 5-game division series. That is tough duty. I don't care who you're playing. If you're the wild card team and you make it through that Friday wild card game, which would be played here in Atlanta if the Braves are the wild card team, then you get to host the first 2 games of the division series. I think that's a huge advantage. So let's not be too concerned about not winning the division because of the advantages of playing at home if you're the wild card team.
Just be happy you are in the final 5 in the National League race, and it certainly is going to be the case for the Braves, but still an open-ended question, wild card or a division-winning ball club. It's Game 2 of the series. Braves and Mets, a big weekend for Chipper Jones, continues tonight. We'll tell you about what's been going on here at Turner Field as we continue right after this. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T, by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. Chipper Jones' final homestand continues tonight before a sellout crowd. The Mets provide the opposition here at Turner Field. and just about every range of emotion here, Joe, on this final homestand for the Braves. Thrilling victories against the Miami Marlins, and of course, the last 2 regular season games for icon Chipper Jones.
He said before this homestand started, Chip, that he wanted to try his best to play in every game because he knew people were coming from all over the country to watch him play in his last homestand. Well, that's all well and good, but you're looking at the only hit he has in this homestand. That was a double Tuesday night that preceded Freddie Freeman's home run heroics. Last night, a big ceremony honoring Chipper, of course, before a standing room only crowd. But the truth of the matter is he's only 1 for 11 on this homestand. Go back a little further. 1 for his last 17, 2 for his last 21. He's not taking batting practice. He's trying to preserve what energy he has to conjure up enough energy to play in these games for the fans. But truth be known, might be a good idea to cut short some of his action here the last 2 days at home. Maybe a couple of 3 at-bats and then call it a day, because I think it's affecting his swing.
Physical, certainly an effect, but how about the emotional effect, too, for Chipper Jones, as the reality of this being his final regular season homestand is rapidly approaching with tomorrow's play against the New York Mets. Plenty of baseball to talk about tonight. Mike Minor takes the ball for the Braves. We've raved about Chris Medlin's work. Mike Minor has made a major turnaround for this Atlanta rotation, and he looks to stay hot for the Braves as we meet the Mets in Game 2 tonight. Hyundai, by the Home Depot, and by Georgia Power. Standing room only crowd filing into Turner Field. We're moments away from first pitch between the Braves and the Mets. And let's see if Atlanta can deliver a knockout blow for Mike Minor and Chipper Jones tonight. As you see, perhaps our earliest McDonald's fan of the game in Braves television history tonight.
That's wonderful. They're doing their best for you, Santa.
Boy, has it been fun or what this week at Turner Field with these crowds, especially last night, again tonight, as everybody across the Southeast checking out Chipper Jones in his final 3 regular season home games. And how about the new style tomahawks that they're featuring tonight?
They're strobe light. The ones that I can see under the, yeah, there you go.
That's going to make for great television in the playoffs, we hope.
Yeah.
And here's a look at Terry Collins' Mets lineup tonight. With a left-hander on the mound, he shuffles the deck considerably. He's got Ruben Tejada leading off at short. Andres Torres is in center. David Wright is their third baseman. Lucas Duda, last night's villain, replaces Ike Davis at first base. And Chris Young, the big, tall right-hander, pitches and hits ninth.
Mike Minor makes his 30th start, and his record now 10-10 thanks to his great work recently. His last 4 starts, how about this ERA? 1.09. That's all 4 starts in September. He's 3-0. Just a 124 opponent's batting average against him, and only 1 home run allowed in those 4 starts. A vast improvement in that department. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight: he is hotter than a dancing bobcat, folks. He has been maybe the Braves' second best pitcher in the second half behind Chris Medlin, and the way he's been going. But what an improvement for Mike Minor. AP rankings, well, it's Saturday, you know, there's football going on. He has moved up the charts in the AP rankings and has put himself in a position to get a start in the postseason.
AP standing for Atlanta pitcher.
Yes.
I assume.
Yes, it did. But thank you.
Paul Nauert's got the plate tonight. Dana DeMuth is at first. Doug Eddings is at second. Kerwin Danley is the umpire at third. Mike has seen the Mets before, but Joe, this is a different Mike Minor than the one that they saw in the season's first days.
Yeah, it was like the first, second, or third game of the season. 5 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs. That's not the same guy. He walked 4 that day, too.
So Ruben Tejada digs in for New York. And we're underway with a strike 1 call. Gorgeous night, 76 degrees at first pitch in Atlanta. And Tejada slaps one to deep short. Good play, Anderson Simmons. 2 pitches, 1 out. Atlanta's defense still without Michael Bourne in center field, but might be getting some good news before this homestand is over with regards to that. Chipper Jones again at third base. Good to see Brian McCann back in the lineup tonight. He's behind the plate.
Talked to Michael Bourne before the game tonight. He said he expects to be back in the lineup tomorrow.
Strike to center fielder Andres Torres. Torres, the former Giant, hasn't given the Mets what they thought they were going to get when they made that deal that sent Angel Pagan out west.
.289 hitter right-handed though this year. That's helped a little bit on his numbers. His Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot though against Atlanta. Pretty good here at Turner Field, a .414 average.
Way high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
If you've watched Mike Minor pitch in the second half, you've heard us talk about some of the reasons that people attribute to his success. One, first and foremost, fastball command to both sides of the plate. His confidence in his own stuff, not having to try to pitch to a hitter's weakness, but to pitch to his strengths. And just his overall maturity.
Slow roller. Minor will field with a bare hand. Makes a nice play.
Nice hustle off the mound to get a fast runner.
And now David Wright's the batter. Wright leads the Mets in RBIs with 91. The Braves held him down last night. Wright was 0 for 4 and enters play with the 8th best batting average in the National League.
He's in a good position. He's proven this year that his back is okay after missing a lot of time last year with a bad back. But he's been in there, and they really can't afford to let him go.
I think Wright's contract is $16 million or something in that range next year for the Mets. Sandy Alderson said their payroll will be between 95 and 100 million next year. Big commitments already to Johan Santana and Jason Bay.
He's played in 153 of their 158 games.
And Mike Chipper has become the face of the Mets franchise. Leads their franchise in hits. And if they can't keep him, there are a lot of teams that would love to have him. Did he go? Yes, he did. Wright is retired on a check swing strikeout. Mike Minor works a perfect 1-2-3 top of the first. Good start for Atlanta. The Braves bats go to work after this. Along Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Atlanta's lineup shapes up this way for Freddie Gonzalez. Jose Constanza leads off. Martin Prado and Jason Hayward second and third. Chipper's the cleanup man. Freeman, Ugla, McCann, Simmons, and Mike Minor tonight.
Chris Young on the mound for the New York Mets. His last 4 starts have been good as well. A 2.66 ERA. 7 walks mixed in there against 17 strikeouts. He is a great big horse of a guy. 33 years old, 6'10", 260. Out of Princeton.
That got Paul Nauert on the foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes.
That got right up under his chin. Fort Keys to pitching success for Chris Young tonight. He's 4-8 with a 4.21 ERA. Bob and weave, Chris. He's a big guy, but he doesn't throw all that hard. He's 86, 88. He's got to locate well and mix his pitches, and he can't afford to walk a lot of guys, which he's done against Atlanta.
He strikes out Constanza to start the game, however, tonight. 1 up, 1 down for Martin Prado.
2 starts against Atlanta this year, 7 walks in 9 innings.
Here's the Mets defense. Bay, Torres, and Hairston left to right. David Wright, Lucas Dew to the corner man on the infield. And Mike Nikias is working behind the plate. Martin at .304 for the year with 10 homers. good a year as Martin has had, it's surprising to see how effectively the Mets have pitched him this year.
One of the toughest teams for him so far this year.
Team comes into play tonight with 12 hits and 58 at bats against New York pitching. But he has knocked in 10 of his 68 runs against the Mets. And he lines this one down the right field line. That's going to get to the fence. And Prado's going to have an extra base hit in the bottom of the first inning. Another 2-strike hit for Prado. That's his 92nd one of those this year.
Another one of those high outside pitches too that he just tomahawked. Target was outside. Yeah, it was letter high, not as high as the one he hit the other night down the right field line against the Marlins, but similar location. His first hit against Chris Young in his career, he had been 0 for 4.
So Jason Hayward with an RBI chance in the bottom of the first inning. 41 doubles for Prado. What a year.
Moves him past David Wright, who has 40.
Two balls, no strikes. Man of the weekend, Chipper Jones, our Delta Airlines on deck batter.
Best numbers on the team that's in the lineup tonight against Chris Young.
Way high and off the glove of Nikias. No chance for Mike on that pitch. And Prado's at third on the wild toss from Chris Young.
Young threw this one like he thought his catcher was 6'10". Nikias was lucky just to get leather on it.
Oh, what a cut.
The Braves know he can't throw the ball by him with his fastball. So you're going to see some aggressive swings. It's just a matter of making sure they get into counts where they can get their pitch and not his.
Slow roller hit up the middle will score the game's first run. Contact in a contact situation. Boy, that's good to see with the playoffs lurking. 1-0 Atlanta, and here's Chipper.
Chris Young even tipped his cap to him.
First pitch swing and a fly ball to deep center, but that's playable for Torres, and the side is retired. The Braves strike first. Martin Prado doubles, takes third on a wild pitch, and scores on a Hayward grounder. 1-0 after 1. As we head to inning number 2. I'm liking those tomahawks, I got to be honest with you.
Somebody just had a sign up said, I sold a goat and a hunting dog just to see old Larry Wayne play.
Well, this has been awesome to see the farewell for Chipper Jones as far as the regular season goes. Let's see if Braves can finish the deal against New York and put a little pressure on the Nationals. They're underway in St. Louis in game 2 of their series with the Cardinals. And low it into Scott Hairston. He's had a big year for the Mets. 19 home runs and a .260 average. And if memory serves, Scott's done a real good job off the bench for this Mets club. Yeah, 3 pinch hit homers among his 7 pinch hits this season.
17 had been his career high in homers. He did that for San Diego in 2008.
And while 17 doesn't sound like a lot, you hit 17 in that ballpark, or for a team that plays in that ballpark, that's real good pop.
It absolutely is. Especially when they were missing pop from guys they thought they were going to get it from.
That's smashed past Chipper, and that's the Mets' first hit. First of the series for Hairston. Here's Lucas Duda. Well, what a fight he put up against Tim Hudson last night in the 7th inning. It's a 9-pitch at bat, something like that, before he hit the home run that turned the game into the Mets' favor for good.
Yeah, last night with this swing, Lucas Duda became a party pooper. He was going along pretty swell until that.
One ball, one strike. Duda making his 4th start of the year for the Mets at first base. Ike Davis is their regular first baseman. And Ike hitting .171 against left-handed pitching. One reason why he gets the night off.
I stand to be corrected here, but I believe when Duda signed, he signed as a third baseman and they moved him to first. And first base was his natural position, but with Ike Davis, he wasn't going to play there a lot. Had to go to the outfield, and he is, we'll say, average defensively in the outfield, but getting better. He got sent down earlier this year, not because of his glove, but because of his bat. But tremendous power.
Good try, but it missed. Full count. Jason Bay is on deck. Let's see what Hairston does with a full count pitch. He doesn't go, and it's ripped back toward us. Again, the 3-2.
Here we go again.
History repeating itself, isn't it? May shock you, but Washington scored in the first inning again. Scored a run against Kyle Oesch in the first inning tonight. Still batting. Nationals have done an awful lot of early inning damage this year. Doing it again tonight. Fly ball well hit to left. Martin going back, still going back at the fence, has just enough room. Hairston back to first with one out.
I didn't think that one was staying in the park. I mean, he really smoked it. A little bit of breeze blowing in from left field may have helped. And Martin able to get under it right at the wall. Nice adjustment by Martin too, who had to turn back the other way over his left shoulder to make the play.
1 on, 1 out for Jason Bay. And he fouls one to the Mets on deck circle for strike 1. 8 homers, 20 RBIs for Bay, a 155 average. That only tells part of the story, though. He's had an injury-wrecked season for New York. Concussions, rib problem. Another, frankly, disappointing offensive player for a ball club that was really expecting his right-handed power to come to the forefront.
Not the same player that was in Boston when they signed him as a free agent. For Jason Bay, his 155 average breaks down this way: 29 hits and 187 at bats.
Runner goes. Hairston back to first on a foul ball.
Minor's last start, a good one on the 22nd. Got some runs to work with. Won 8-2, 6 innings, 2 hits is all he allowed. Gave up a homer, the only homer he's allowed this month. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts.
Double play ball to Simmons. Dan will turn it. Inning over. Minor records a shutdown inning. Takes a 1-0 lead to the bottom of inning number 2.
this one gone again. 45 home runs, 105 RBIs for Chipper Jones.
One of the great Met killers in baseball history.
That was an amazing stretch back in '99. I especially remember that home run in that day game that Pete just called, because it was, we were kind of looking at each other like, are you kidding me? He's done it again. You know, that one's gone too. Just phenomenal.
Chipper's career numbers against the Mets: 49 homers, 159 RBIs, 167 runs in 243 games. And Freeman takes a call, third strike. Second punch out for Chris Young tonight. Dan had a good night at the plate last night. He reached base 3 times. He walked twice and singled in the 4th inning. Mean to, and the count now even. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the air to center, and a nice running catch by Andres Torres retires Dan Uggla for the 2nd out.
And another good swing by Dan at a pitch that was middle of the plate away, that he was fooled on it a little bit, but cut down on his swing enough to put a good swing on it. Target away. Might have been a split finger pitch. He does feature one of those.
And with the shift on by New York, Brian McCann thought about a bunt, but he fouled it away for strike 1. With that attempt, David Wright takes 4 or 5 steps toward the third base line. Now backpedals toward the second base bag. Again, he tries to bunt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's trying to force their hand a little bit to make them maybe come out of that. And I like this play leading off the inning, and maybe even with 1 out. But with 2 out, go ahead and hack away.
I'd like to see him take a heavy swing just to see how that shoulder looks. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a shot to right. And that's going to get down. That's how you beat a shift. Hit it over him. Second Braves hit, first of the night for McCann.
Like a pitch up and in a little bit too, that he got the barrel to. Target was in, and yeah, it was about letter high and in, but look how he got his hands in and got the barrel to the point of contact. Got his hips open to help out.
Earlier this month, Brian McCann played in his 1,000th major league game. He's 23 hits away from 1,000 now. After that single here in the 2nd inning. And now Andrelton Simmons takes his first look at Chris Young tonight. Simmons 1 for 3 in the series opener yesterday. strike one. Lined over short. Simmons with a single, and the Braves have some two-out magic working in the second inning. 2 on for Mike Minor.
Makes Andrelton 4 for 14 on the homestand. So that time off really didn't slow him down much at all.
Let's see if Mike can help himself. He already leads 1-0. He had a good cut.
He's got a good swing. His batting average is a little deceiving at .074. Bingo. 4 for 54. He does have a double, but he's looking for his first RBI of the year. This would be a good time for it.
High fly ball, but well foul, and it's 0-2. Bad news in St. Louis. Washington scored 4 first-inning runs against Kyle Loesch. Came into the game with the 3rd best ERA in the National League. Go figure.
And 16-3.
Jordan Zimmerman's the Washington starter tonight. Their magic number to clinch the East is 2. And the inning is over. 3 strikeouts for Chris Young. The Braves strand a pair in the second. And Braves general manager Frank Wren will join us when we come back here in the top of the 3rd. Tonight at Turner Field. Joe and Chip with you, along with the architect of this 2012 Braves ball club, the general manager Frank Wren, and our first chance on the air to say congratulations on a postseason berth.
Well, thank you. It's been obviously a lot of hard work by these guys down on the field all year long, and you know, they believed from the day we got to spring training that they could win this division, and we haven't obviously won the division, but we're in postseason, so that's the first goal.
Sense of relief, I guess, after September in 2011?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's just natural. Last year was a tough year, and everybody came into spring training, like I said earlier, ready and dedicated, and it's worked out well. And now we got a chance to go as far as we can go.
And aside from thinking back to 2010, you guys were a little short-handed going in without Chipper, without Prado, and with the exception of Michael Bourne right now, who looks like he might be back in the lineup tomorrow. Everybody's pretty healthy.
Yeah, so far we're okay. You know, we were missing quite a few guys in 2010, and last year going down the stretch we got banged up as well. So you know, this year we're in much better shape, and And actually, we're playing our best baseball here in September, I think, all year long.
I think you're right.
Braves are 17-8 this month, one of the best Septembers in the history of the franchise, and one reason why Frank, the man on the mound, Mike Minor's made tremendous strides in the second half of this year.
He really has. I mean, we were trying to let our young pitchers come along in the first half and see which ones could really stand out and put themselves in a position to be in the rotation and for a long time, and Mike's the first one to do that out of that group, and he really, at the All-Star break, I would say probably in early July, from then on, he's been a real good starting pitcher at this level, and in the second half he's been one of the best pitchers in the National League.
He broke Ronnie Cedeno's bat and is ahead of the Mets second baseman. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, 2.37 ERA since July 1st.
Bouncing ball to Chipper. His first chance. And he makes it cleanly. And there's the first out.
In spring training, he and Chris Medlin were our 2 best pitchers. They were both very, very impressive, and you could see Mike had matured from his experiences last year and the year before. And he got off to a good start, and then he kind of lost some of that aggressiveness, it looked like, and he kind of flailed for about 6 weeks. But then he got it back, and once he got it back, and the numbers you just read off, Joe, he's been very good since then.
Have to feel real good about your starting rotation when it comes to postseason play and the way it could set up with Medlin, with Minor, with Tim Hudson, Paul Maholm, and perhaps Tommy Hanson if you go 5 deep.
No, we feel like we have the depth to put a good postseason rotation together, and I think Huddy the last couple times, in Philadelphia and then last night, he's been as good as he's been all year long.
Seems to have that 2-seamer back, that sinker back that's moving real well for him. Just made a bad pitch last night to Duda that cost him the game.
Yeah, he just said the pitches and the quality of the pitches, the 2-seamer especially, seemed crisper. I thought he was really good in Philadelphia.
Little tapper back to Minor. He handles cleanly. And that's quickly out number 2. Emotional weekend, an emotional homestand for the Braves, for Chipper Jones, and you too. After all, you're Chipper Jones' boss. These are the last 2 home regular season games you're going to see him play.
Yeah, I tell you, being with him the last 13 years, I mean, it's so special to see an athlete of this caliber, and not only watching him play day in and day out, but know that he came into the organization. He's been with one organization. Those guys are so few and far between, and watching how what a special player he is, and he's going to be missed. And it was funny last night. The at-bats he had last night were not indicative of Chipper Jones, and emotionally, I don't know how you play after what he witnessed and all the speeches that were on the board from inning to inning. It was tough.
Young lines to second. What do they say, Frank? Sometimes need a road trip.
That's right.
One's coming up for Chipper Jones. Can you stick around for another half inning for us?
Sure.
Braves general manager Frank Wren as the Braves enjoy an early 1-0 lead.
my favorite moment that involves me and Chipper was I was really scuffling, and I sat down, and he has a seat he usually sits at after games, and we were leaving after the game to go to Philly. He goes, "I see something in your swing. If you want me to, I don't want to butt in, but if you want me to tell you something, we'll go down." So in Philly, we went to Philly the next day, and we worked on it for 3 days in Philly, and my next start came in Florida. And I had 5 hits, and I remember jogging out after the 5th one. He turned around. I was playing left field. He turned around from third base and went, he said, "I'm good," and he is. He is. I almost wish that he hadn't made as much money as he has in his life, because he could probably be the greatest hitting coach in the history of the game.
What do you think about that, Frank Wren?
Well, he has unbelievable knowledge of hitting, and the thing that I think that makes him so special about from a hitting standpoint is his understanding of what that guy on the mound is going to do to him.
Right.
And I've told this story before. We were sitting in 2010 in San Francisco during the playoffs, and we were having our practice day, and Doc Holliday was pitching his no-hitter against the Reds in Philadelphia that day, and we were out on the field in batting practice, and a bunch of us went back in the clubhouse. Chipper was on the DL, was not going to play in the postseason, so he was in on the couch watching the game. And we got in there about the 7th inning. From the 7th inning through the 9th, he called every pitch, location that Doc was going to throw, and was right on the money. And as he completed that no-hitter, and I was just in amazement watching, because he would tell us, okay, he's going to go with a little two-seamer back door here, and he's going to go with a little two-seamer front door here, and he was right on the money.
Somebody asked me about him the other day, and I said he's like a savant when it comes to that, because he doesn't really have a book, a notebook with notes in it.
No.
It's all in his head, and,
Exactly.
and he has a great recall of what pitchers have done to him through the years.
I always love it when he backs out of the box in the middle of an at-bat, and you can see the wheels spinning in there. He's thinking, okay, I know this guy's done this to me in the past, and I'm going to be prepared for it. And then you watch him just drive a ball over the fence or up a gap. It's special.
Do you have a favorite Chipper Jones moment besides the one you just talked about with Roy Halladay in the playoffs?
Well, that one, I honestly, what happened against Philadelphia 2 Sundays ago. I mean, that was, we were on the mat and really trying to bring it home this season, and that was really the turnaround for our ball club, and it doesn't get much better than that.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Martin Prado. Again, the playoffs are in the books for the Braves. Without divulging any state secrets, tell us about how you guys go about scouting your potential first-round opponents. At least right now, it's the Cardinals, I guess, and you play in that 1-game playoff.
Well, we've got our major league scouts. We've got and a number of our amateur scouts out advancing with all the postseason clubs, and we've got 2-man teams on all especially the National League teams right now, and we have 1 single scouts on the American League clubs, and we're watching them for 2 series and trying to stay ahead of what they're doing, and you want to see them early, because sometimes they'll shut it down the last week as they're just trying to coast in. Now, obviously this year in the American League they're all still fighting, but in the National League some clubs are starting to rest their players, and they're not managing strategically the same. So you want to see them those last 2 weeks and get a good read on what the manager's tendencies are, who he'll pinch hit for, who he'll use to bunt, who he'll hit and run with, who he'll steal with. And so we try to get as much information as we can.
And with more teams still in the playoff hunt, that makes your job a whole lot more complicated, I'm sure.
Right. Well, we just have to be on top of a lot more teams, and that's it'll start whittling itself down as we get closer to Wednesday. But we've got a good handle on everybody that's out there.
And that's why we see a boatload of scouts down there behind home plate scouting the Braves for the same reason.
Exactly. The last 2 weeks, all the teams that are potentially in it have a bunch of scouts following them.
Well, Frank, it's been a great year so far. We really appreciate you spending this 3rd inning with us, and congratulations on a playoff appearance. Let's see you late in October.
Well, that's sure our hope. We appreciate it.
The architect, Frank Wren, enjoying the ball game with us. 1-0 our score as we head to the
ranked #1 in customer satisfaction nationwide year after year. Experience all the comfort and amenities you expect at an unexpectedly low price. Jameson Inn, Southern hospitality at its best.
Yeah, he did.
Standing room crowd enjoying the early start tonight. After 3 innings, the Braves enjoy a 1-0 lead. Mike Minor has faced the minimum, and he goes after Ruben Tejada, the leadoff man in the 4th inning. Tejada's the hottest Mets hitter. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. He's not Jose Reyes, but he's done a pretty good job at shortstop for them this year. Two balls, no strikes.
I think they're very pleased with it. He doesn't have the power of Jose Reyes, only 1 homer. But his batting average is good, and he's on base a lot. He had a little injury bug hit him about halfway through the season. I believe it was an ankle or knee that put him on the DL. But steady defense for Terry Collins.
Two balls and a strike. Off his thumbs, Chipper cuts it off, throws off stride, and gets his man easily. 1 out.
I love the way when Chipper makes that play, and he doesn't have the time to get his feet squared up to make a real hard throw to first. He just kind of floats it over there, but he gets rid of it quickly right here, and then it's an accurate throw. If he's trying to throw it real hard while on the run like that, he's got a real good chance of pulling it wide of Freddie Freeman. So a good touch on that.
6 straight set down by Minor. Here's Andres Torres. He bounced back to the mound in the opening inning. Minor strike after strike so far tonight. Nothing in 2. But what an exciting time in Major League Baseball after tonight. 4 regular season games remain. As Frank Wren mentioned a moment ago, nothing at all has been decided in the American League as Torres lines an 0-2 pitch into right field and represents the second Mets hit. The Yankees were beaten earlier today. Baltimore's winning early today. If the Orioles win, they'll tie the Yankees for first in the East in the American League. Amazing. David Wright's double play candidate. The Mets have already hit into one of those tonight.
After the Braves beat up Roy Halladay in Philadelphia last weekend, it was thought that they might shut him down because it seemed that his shoulder still wasn't right. But he got a start tonight. He's given up 3 runs in Miami, and the Marlins are still batting in the bottom of the 2nd. So obviously that problem continues.
The Phillies begin play tonight, a game under 500. At 78 and 79 for the year. They made a push for a wild card spot, but ran out of gas when they dropped 3 out of 4 down in Houston. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls and a strike. In the air to shallow center. Costanza broke back. Now comes charging in, but it's Simmons out of nowhere that makes the play. Wow, look at the range for Andrelton.
Big league play right there, folks, because he saw right away that Jose Costanza was in trouble. He saw Jose break back on this. He knew it wasn't hit that deep, and he's on track in shallow center to get it. What a play.
A big second out. And now Scott Hairston's the batter. Hairston tomahawked a single between third and short his first time up. High strike inside corner. Strike 1.
That's been such a good pitch for him to right-handed hitters to trust his stuff and throw that fastball in for strikes.
McCann keeps that close enough to hold Torres at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike's made 11 quality starts in his last 14 outings. Has not lost a game since mid-August when the Dodgers beat him. So he's been on an amazing roll for Atlanta. And leads tonight 1-0. 1-2.
Yeah, that was a stretch of 3 straight losses, and one of them, the first one of those 3, to Philadelphia. Remember, he gave up 3 runs in the first and lost to Cole Hamels 3-0. Braves didn't get him any runs.
Outside corner freezes Hairston. Scott not sure about that call, but Minor's second strikeout sends this game to the home half of the 4th. Guess who's coming up? It's chipper time again at Turner Field. second time tonight. He flied out to deep center in the first. And a man that saw almost every Chipper Jones at bat in his Braves career is with us in the booth, the Professor Pete Van Wieren.
Great to be here.
A great job yesterday emceeing Chipper Jones.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun, and it was a very emotional night for Chipper and his family.
Doesn't seem possible this is the final 3 games he's going to play here, huh?
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It goes by fast, doesn't it?
We had a few highlights on a few minutes ago, Pete, of that stretch against the Mets back in '99.
Yeah.
It kind of propelled him to the MVP and had a couple of your calls, Ernie, Skip, during that weekend. It was pretty amazing.
Well, that's the one thing I'm always going to remember about him is his ability in the clutch, even as late as this year. You know, usually at age 40, a player slows down. He hasn't slowed down much at all. And that stance and that swing, same as it was 18 years ago.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, Frank Wren said as much just a few minutes ago that big home run against the Phillies 2 weeks ago was one of the defining moments of his 2012 season.
And how many times have we seen that in his career?
You know, I'm with you, Pete. There's nobody I'd rather see come up with the game on the line. Doesn't matter what time of the game it is, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, tie game, behind, whatever.
Hot shot toward Duda at first, but Lucas has it and takes care of Chipper for the first out. Not only is it Chipper Jones weekend, Pete, but you've got some company behind you.
Yeah, this is something that Dale Murphy put together, and we have had a ball all day long with a whole bunch of fans that came in from all over the country, 14 different states, to help celebrate the 30th reunion of the 1982 Western Division champion Braves. And we've got Bob Horner here, we've got Phil Niekro here, Dale Murphy, Gene Garber, and Bruce Benedict are all here, and we've been here all day. We had lunch today with all of the fans that came in from all across the country, and we've got a suite up here to watch the game tonight. They've been giving all kinds of prizes away, and it's been a lot of fun hearing these guys tell stories from '82.
Talk about going fast. That doesn't seem possible either, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't seem possible. That was 30 years ago. And while it didn't have quite the same impact as the '91 season when the real turnaround came here, it did have a big impact because we had been a second division team in Atlanta since the early '70s. And to all of a sudden win the division in '82 was a big deal. That's the season we started out with 13 straight wins. And then lost 19 out of 21 in August to drop 4 games back, and then rallied in September to win it. And a lot of great stories these guys were telling today. Talk to them. You can talk to me anytime. Talk to these guys.
Well, we'll get them on heads. Who wants to go first? Come on, Phil.
17-4 that year, including a home run in San Diego on the final weekend in a 3-0 shutout that got the Braves a game in front with 1 game to play.
Pete's talking about your home run.
The final score was 3-0, and Phil described it perfectly today, didn't you, Phil? Off it
hard and far
into the wind.
A gale coming in. A gale. Yeah, it was one of the longest, hardest home runs I've hit seen in a long time.
I'm sure.
Oh, I creamed it.
And you know, one of the stories we told today was the team got off to that 13-0 start, and Phil had got hurt right at the end of spring training, a line drive off his rib cage, and he had to go on the DL for one of the few times in his career. And the 13-0 came about with 9 different pitchers picking up wins in those 13 wins, because Phil wasn't available during that.
Well,
stretch.
that's why we won 13 in a row, because I was on the DL.
Bruce Benedict. What a treat for you guys, Bruce, to all get together.
We had a great time today. We watched a long way to October. It lasted 30, 45 minutes. I only registered 1 complaint. I watched the thing for 45 minutes. I didn't see 1 offensive highlight that I had in the whole. I mean, I'm singing Merv's praises, Gino, Horns, Nuxie, everybody. Not 1 offensive highlight in the whole thing. Really, really depressing. I went along for the ride. I was just being a good sport.
But you had that grand slam off Fernando.
Fernando, yeah, was one of the trivia questions. In the thing that we had today with the big group is who hit the grand slam off Fernando, and everybody seemed to know it. So what a big time for us. And to reminisce about 30 years ago, winning, starting out 13-0 and winning it. And one of the things that came through the movie, and we're talking to all the people we were with today, was how many people were at the airport when we came back. It was just so sudden and out of the blue to have thousands of people at the airport because it just came out of nowhere. And we're so excited. We had big fun today. And I'll let somebody else talk. It was big. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great having you back.
It was great.
And a guy we rarely get to see back here, but happy to have him, and that's Bob Horner.
Hey, guys.
32 home runs and 97 RBIs in 1982 for Mr. Horner.
Not bad.
Pretty good year.
Yeah, well, we started hot, and then there was a whole kind of lull in the middle, and then we got hot at the end. You kind of cut out all the middle stuff and look at the end.
Well, welcome back. Great to have you back in Atlanta.
Oh, my pleasure. Still a lot of family, friends, people we come back for 2, 3, 4 times a year for different reasons, and great fans, great town. I just wish the people of Atlanta would learn to carpool. The traffic is just brutal.
So do we all wish that.
Hey, good talking to you guys.
Bob, great to see you. Just got to watch
back.
the highlights of the 4 home run day. Pete had them all, I think, in that day.
1986, I had the 4th one, and he was just the 11th guy at the time to do it.
And it wasn't a breaking ball, it was a fastball.
Did I call it a breaking ball?
You said you caught a breaking ball, and it was a fastball.
Chalk it up. That's okay.
Sorry to sit here and just bust your. Sorry. These things are going to happen.
That's okay. You guys have been doing it all day long. Why not continue?
Are you still living in Dallas?
Still live in Dallas. It'll be 30 years. Like I said, we get back here as often as we can. Love to see the Murphs and the Necros and the Benedicts and whenever we can. So.
You know who had a ball today were all the wives. The wives hadn't been all together in the group probably since '82. And they really.
Yeah, but they were sitting in the back of the room chuckling, which makes me very nervous. I don't know about y'all.
It might be amazing if it was all the same wives.
Yes.
They were chuckling, and they were kind of under their breath, so it kind of made me a little bit nervous. Bob, thanks again, guys.
It's great to see you. Welcome back.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime.
And last but not least, in the back of the room, we've got Dale Murphy, but also Gene Garber. Remember the crowd chanting, Gino, Gino, Gino.
Oh, yeah. Closer, 2.34 ERA that year.
By the way, you're doing this without notes. Also.
Well, I've looked at all those notes all afternoon. So you've got the numbers down pretty good.
Good to have you back, Gene.
It's great to be back. It's a lot of fun for us to get back and experience a little bit what we went through 30 years ago.
And, you know, that was a time when relief pitchers, when they came into the game, usually went 2, 3, in one case for him, 4 innings.
4 innings. The last series against the Dodgers, we were up 1 game. It was our final game, and we went into extra innings. I pitched a 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and we beat Joe's Dodgers over there. So that was a big game for us to put us up 2 with 3 to go. And we let Nuxie do his thing the next day.
Well, what a break. We got to talk to everybody that was really important.
Yes.
Dale Murphy's forever stuck in the on-deck circle.
That's right.
And he was the MVP.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Stick around and we'll get you on.
Great to have you guys back in Atlanta. Congratulations. 30 years. It's amazing. 1-0 Atlanta after 4. 1-0 heading to the 5th inning. And all season long, Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Chip and Joe with you tonight from the ballpark, and we couldn't leave out the MVP, could we? Our colleague, our partner, and our good buddy, Dale Murphy.
Oh, thanks, Chip. Thanks, Joe. We've had a lot of fun. Thanks for having us all on. It's been a lot of fun. Can't believe it's been 30 years. It's just crazy. But we've got some diehard Braves fans here from 14 states. About 30 of them are joining us in the suite. We've been with them all day. Had a great lunch and reminiscing about 82 season. It's been a blast. But I got to tell you, if I hear about Nuxie's home run one more time, I think I'm going to lose it.
So tell us about Nuxie's home run.
Well, to hear it from Nuxie, yeah, you know, wind was blowing straight in. He hit it far and deep, and he did that every once in a while. Nuxie carried us, as you know, that last 10 days. Pitched a couple complete games, hit a 3-run home run against San Diego, and just you know, went 70-4 that year, and you know, it's Hall of Famer for a reason. It was a lot of fun. It was a great year. It was a weird year, you know, starting out like we did and then ending with a loss and still winning it. I mean, it was a strange year, but people have really connected to that 82 team, and wherever I go throughout the country, they go, I'll never forget that. In the first 13 games, I mean, they probably mentioned it before, but the excitement, and it was a crazy time here. We hadn't done any winning before, and all of a sudden that happened.
Jason Bay, the batter, with 1 out.
We haven't seen you in a few days, but in the meantime, since we last saw you, the Braves have played themselves into at least a wild card berth and a home field advantage for the wild card. They've been playing good baseball. I know you've been watching.
Yeah, and it was so much fun to be on this year, and it's been so much fun to follow. I always kind of know what the team's doing, but I was more involved this year and following so much closer, and I just think it's remarkable. Again, I'm sure everybody's talked about, but after last September, to recover and then go through a battle like it's been this year and to get back into the playoffs. And I watched Chippers last year. It's been so much fun. I'm excited. I like the way the team's playing. Get a few runs, get it to that bullpen, and we're gonna go places in the postseason.
And as you know, in the playoffs, you get in the tournament, anything can happen.
That's right. And I, you know, you got to like the way the guys are playing, and that's always, you know. Speaking of 82, we weren't playing that well. We were not looking forward to going to L.A. for one more playoff game. I'll tell you, we were looking at a one-game playoff, and we weren't playing very well. We weren't too confident. So, you know, I like the way the guys are playing right now, and excited about, you know, the postseason for them. Playing great.
How old were you your last year?
How old was I?
Your last year in the big leagues?
I was 37.
So here's Chipper at 40. Are you still continuing to be impressed by what he's doing?
Absolutely. I just, you know, he's been remarkable his whole career, but to be so productive at 40, I mean, like I was 37. I felt like an old man. I mean, I was struggling, losing a step. He's just a remarkable player in so many ways. It's just, you know, everything that has been said about him that complements his game. I can't think of any other ways to say it. Just add my admiration for him because it's tough to do what he's done for so many years, so consistently. It's been remarkable. It's been a lot of fun to watch Chipper. We're really going to miss him.
Well, he loves you. I mean, every time a number came up where he passed the Dale Murphy number on the Atlanta Annals, I mean, he was constantly saying, man, you know, Murph was my guy. And he said that I'm in good company anytime I pass one of his.
Well, that's very nice of him. I knew that when I saw him come up, I knew, you know, my numbers wouldn't hold up for very long. It was just a matter of time. But I saw him in the clubhouse today and said, thanks for everything. He says, hey, I'm coming up into the booth with you one of these days. So I said, let's do it.
2-2 to Cedeno, and Ronnie pops it up right to Dan Ugla at second base, and Mike Minor is breezing merrily along.
Great to see you.
Good to see you guys. Joe,
thanks
Chip,
for coming by.
Thanks for having us all on, and
you guys have a good time.
Go Braves.
Have fun.
Right, postseason. Thanks, guys.
Shutout as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Simmons, Minor, and Constanza coming up for the Braves. Time to cheer on your Braves in October. They play in the National League wildcard game Friday, October 5th here at Turner Field. You can order Braves postseason ticket strips and individual game tickets right now by logging on to Braves.com/postseason. Postseason tickets, always something a team president likes to talk about. John Schuerholz.
We have plenty available, and I'm sitting here watching the crowd, or listening to the crowd of last night and experiencing last night's crowd and tonight's remarkable crowd, thinking about how exciting postseason baseball is going to be again to have back in Atlanta. And we invite our fans to come out and create the environment like we've had here yesterday and we have tonight, and cheer our guys on for hopefully a very, very long playoff run.
Big night last night. I mean, the culmination of what has been kind of a season-long love fest, knowing that this was Chipper's last year, but to have it narrowed down to a precious few days last night was pretty special.
Yeah, it really was. Last night I thought really came off perfectly, and we celebrated Chipper and honored Chipper, and his mom and dad were here, and the Mets players were commenting today about how remarkably classy they thought it was and how beautiful it came off, and Chipper feels that way, and we all do too, and he deserves it, and we're so delighted to have had him part of our organization, a significant part of it for a long time, and to honor him like we did and have the fans more than anything to celebrate with him, because they traveled far and wide to be a part of that last night.
Liner to left by Andrelton Simmons, who takes a big turnaround first. He'll hold on there with a leadoff hit for Atlanta in this 5th inning. And here's John as some videotape, if you will, of last night's ceremony. Really cool, really unique gifts, and I love the way that Chipper was the only man to take the field to start the ball game. That was quite a surprise.
It was. I think it was a surprise to everybody except for the guys who were his teammates who planned it all. So that worked out really well. They all wore the turtleneck, the Chipper ubiquitous turtleneck that he's worn most of his career, and they put it on for him last night to honor him. It was just everything good last night that could happen, and we celebrated a great player and a great career in a proper fashion, I think.
There are some who have said this might be the best final season for a player of the caliber of Chipper Jones in the history of the game.
You know what I say? I think he willed that. He did not want to go out stumbling and bumbling and limping and all of that. He got himself physically and mentally strong to finish this season off, and I think he's willed his way. And I think the script he's written is to be carried off the field at the end of the World Series with a trophy in his hand, and that's how his career ought to end. I think that's in Chipper's mind, and we're going to hopefully help him achieve that.
Nice sacrifice by Mike Minor. That gets Simmons to second with one out in the top of the order coming up.
Well, Frank Wren was over with us a couple of innings ago, John, and he was talking about how the team has put itself in a position to play his best baseball at the right time of the year. And the last couple of years, we saw the Giants get hot at the right time and take it all away. Last year, certainly the Cardinals got a break, got in there, and when you get in, as Chip said a minute ago, you get in the tournament, anything can happen, and they made a good run. So I think the Braves are playing some of their best baseball of the year right now.
I agree with Frank said, and I concur with that, and he and I have talked about that, and I agree with him. I think our team is playing as sharp a baseball as we've played most of the year, and we saw what happened to the Cardinals, we saw what happened to the Giants, and maybe this year's the turn for the Braves to have that happen. We're playing good ball. Everybody's doing their jobs well, and it's a sharp and crisp kind of approach to the game of baseball, and it's a perfect time of the year for that to happen.
With all the guys you've seen in your storied career, the excitement that Chris Medlin has created for this ball club with what he's doing on the mound, I mean, that rivals just about anything I've ever seen.
Just about anything. I mean, you think back to young guys who came catapulting to the major leagues unexpected to shine as Chris has done, and there aren't many who have done what he's done to that extent, and we're so fortunate that he stepped in. We lost Beachy, and all of a sudden here comes Medlin back from a elbow surgery, Tommy John surgery. He's now ready to pitch, and he comes in and takes over his spot in the rotation and has just done a remarkable job.
And as much as we celebrate Chipper Jones, the 40-year-old veteran on this ball club, you have to be thrilled as the patriarch of this organization, if you will, to see so many good young players gelling at this time for this Atlanta ball club. This team has a chance to be good for a long time, not just to be a flash in the pan club.
Good young players are the secret sauce of whatever success we've enjoyed in this organization and been able to sustain for a long period of time. This organization has been known for signing and developing players, putting them in the pipeline, getting them to the major leagues, having them contribute to the major leagues, and having that become the core of the team around which you build. And we've done that forever, and we continue to do it, and that's really what the essence of this organization is. Sign good players and develop them and have them become meaningful parts of the major league team.
The Braves teams have won 90 or more games 15 times since 1990. The Braves have made the playoffs 18 times since coming from Milwaukee. And so while one era of Braves baseball ends with the retirement of Chipper Jones, whenever that's going to be, you have to feel good about those trends continuing, as you said, with those good young players.
Well, we feel good about our future. We hate to lose a guy like Chipper. It's hard to replace Hall of Famers and perennial All-Stars like he. And players that come up big in big situations, as Chipper did all of his career. But somebody will develop into that. Somebody will be that next guy, whether they come that far and advance that far as Chipper has as a Hall of Famer like that. Who knows? But there's going to be somebody in this bunch right here that's going to come in to be the key guy for us and get the big hits and make the big plays, and I'm sure it'll happen.
We talked at the beginning of the show tonight about be careful what you wish for. With being 4 back, 5 games to play, makes it kind of tough to try to catch Washington for a division title. But before,
fly ball hammered deep left. Back goes Bay. That ball's off the fence. Simmons will score, and Prado's in at second with a double. It's 2-0 Atlanta.
Another multi-hit game.
What a shot.
You ever seen a better 2-strike hitter in the major leagues this year than Martin Prado? He's got 92 2-strike hits, John.
He's been remarkable. I mean, he gets himself into some 2-strike counts, and you wonder how he got there, but then he hits a line drive into the right field corner or one almost over the left center field fence. He's done a remarkable job for us this year. He's a competitor, and he likes to win.
It's his 60th multi-hit game. But I started to say, before we start crying about not winning a division title, which everybody wants, the way the playoffs are set up this year, and because of home field advantage and what have you in the division series, it's not such a horrible thing to be the wild card if you can get past that first wild card game.
It may not be, but every as you know, Joe, every guy in uniform down there wants to win the division if they can. That's professional pride. They're going to grind and try to do that. The Nationals might not allow us to do that because of the lead they built up. But if it happens not to be the case, and we're the wild card, and to your point, the schedule might fall to our favor more that way than if we were to play them or tie them or whatever. So we'll just let things unfold as they will, and play the team we're supposed to play and try to run right through this whole thing.
Yeah, the team with the best record is definitely going to open up on the road for the first 2 games against the wild card winner, regardless of what team has the best record or who that wild card team is. You got to open up on the road. And I just remember,
high fly ball deep right. Hairston going back on the warning track is going to have room, and that retires Hayward.
I just remember distinctly in '95 having 2 very tough games on the road in Colorado prior to winning a world championship. Anything can happen on the road.
Anything can happen.
John, great to be with you.
Guys.
Congratulations on a great year. Let's see it continue deep into October.
Thank you very much.
Ubers and by the Georgia Lottery. in part by McDonald's, by AT&T Uverse, and by the Georgia Lottery. Mike Minor's pitching a beauty tonight. He's thrown strike 1 to 12 of the first 16 hitters he's faced and has retired 10 of the last 11 Mets. And he's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the New York 6th. Everybody around baseball knows about Chris Medlin and his incredible run. They know about the pedigree of Tim Hudson. And approaching 200 major league wins. Mike Minor might turn out to be the Braves' secret pitching weapon come postseason play.
Couldn't agree more, because I think what people remember about him from last year or the first half of this year, they won't believe who this guy is and how much he's improved.
Mike Nikias fouls one away, and let's take a look at our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. Look at the lowest ERAs in baseball since July 1. The Braves have 2 pitchers on that list. Swing and a miss. Minor strikes out the Mets catcher for the first out. And that's his 3rd strikeout in tonight's ball game. We'd like to remind our viewers to come out this Tuesday at 7 to Twin Peaks in Buckhead for a Braves viewing party. The Braves will be in Pittsburgh playing the Pirates at PNC Park. That Tuesday pitching matchup features Tommy Hanson and Kevin Correa. First pitch at 7:05. So Tuesday at 7, Twin Peaks in Buckhead. Root on the Braves as they play game number 161 of the regular season schedule. Two to Chris Young. Ooh, a flinch behind the plate, but Mike didn't get the call. You mentioned Young went to Princeton. Doesn't he have some highfalutin college degree?
Actually, it's not one of those molecular biology things like Craig Breslow has. That is now with Boston. He signed early and then went back and got his degree and got it in 4 years in political science, politics.
So
if he runs for president, just show me where the ballot box is. Always looking for new choices.
Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Couple of close pitches didn't go Minor's way with the pitcher up there. And a ground ball up the middle. Ugla with a long throw gets Young, and that's the 2nd out of the Mets' 6th inning. It's trivia time, partner.
Phil Niekro hit a homer.
Good guess, but I don't think it's right. What 2 players hold the record for most career homers as a visiting player in Atlanta?
So that's across the street as well. Could have overlapped over here.
A lot of games in the Western Division.
Well, I'm going to have to say Barry Bonds is one of them.
Yeah.
And remember that good night Cal Ripken had here one time?
Yeah.
6 hits.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game. Popped up deep second. Ugla drifts back, and Minor breezes through inning number 6. I keep waiting for the name a Met question. We only have one more chance for that here in 2012.
Marv Throneberry.
In honor of Chipper Jones night last night, the Braves are auctioning off 3 game-used commemorative Chipper Jones bases and the on-deck circle from last night's game. And you'll also get a Chipper Jones autographed baseball. Log on to Braves.com/Chipper and bid now. I'd love to see the Braves score about 4 runs in this inning and let him take the rest of the night off.
Me too.
Again, it was Chipper's intention to play every game of this homestand for obvious reasons. And he wants to be a part of a club that has a chance to win the division. Washington's magic number's at 2. They're winning tonight. If the Nationals win, no matter what the Braves do, that means all Washington has to do is win 1 more game, and they're the Eastern champions. And then you might see a little more rest for Chipper in the final 3 games of regular season play.
I think you'll definitely see him rest in Pittsburgh. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but I just believe that he's spreading himself a little thin this week.
That's off the plate. Nice play by Duda. And Young to the bag, wins the race, and Chipper is 0 for 3. Freddie Freeman's the Braves batter and the subject of tonight's SunTrust solid performance.
If Martine's numbers are off against the Mets, then Freddie's are up. 5 homers, 18 RBIs, including 1 last night. A home run last night.
High pop fly foul to the right side. Strike 1 to Freddie Freeman.
Well, Chris Young's done a good job of not walking anybody, but he has given up 6 hits. And almost every one of his called strikeouts, called third strikes, have been on that pitch right there, that slow over the top curveball that a lot of the hitters have given up on. He's fan 5. And part of the reason you might give up on it as a hitter is that at 6'10", the way it's coming out of his hand, you figure there's no way it's going to drop enough to find the strike zone.
That one's tipped and caught by Nikias, and that's the second out. 2 are away. Dan Uggla, the batter.
Hey, guess what? Time for the Georgia Power Energy Tip, and it is number, if you're keeping score at home, it is number 1. Learn ways to make your home more energy efficient with Georgia Power's online energy checkup. It's free and takes less than 15 minutes to complete.
We call that one our Otis Nixon.
Yes.
Georgia Power Tip.
Saw a nice video tribute last night from Otis to Chipper.
And isn't it great? And we talked about it earlier. Isn't it great seeing the alumni at the ballpark? I mean,
outstanding.
It really is. Greg McMichael has done a tremendous job with the Braves alumni, trying to include them and get them more involved in the proceedings here in Atlanta. Pete Van Wieren, professor, obviously involved in that.
And for this reunion, for Dale Murphy to put it together.
It's great. There's a strike to Uggla. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dan, who's 1 for 2 tonight.
Elvin Ramirez beginning to loosen up for the Metropolitans.
I'll be interested to see if Young sticks around and pitches for the Mets next year. They're looking for pitching help. R.A. Dickey's had a remarkable year this year. Zugla tomahawks the ball to left, and that's going to drop for his second hit of the game. A 2-out single in the Braves' 6th inning brings up Ryan McCann.
See, and that was a high pitch there, Chip, and he keeps doing what we've been talking about even there, getting on top of a high pitch. He didn't go up to it. He leveled off on it. Earlier this year when he was really scuffling on a huge uppercut, trying to go up to that pitch, the point of intersection with the pitch is very small. And when you get on the same plane, you stay in the zone a lot longer and better contact, and boy, has he been doing that.
Maybe Dan's best offensive month all season long for this Braves club.
Yeah, game to game. I mean, he hasn't hit a ton of homers, but much better contact, hitting the ball sharply and on base a lot.
Ryan McCann sporting a 1-for-2 night tonight. Braves have 7 hits. The Mets have but 2 as we continue in this 6th inning. Atlanta trying to even up the series a game apiece and win their 92nd game of the season.
Another one of the unsung heroes in the Braves bullpen loosening up. 6 strong innings again from Mike Minor tonight.
Young bounces that ball in front of the plate. No chance to prevent Uggla from taking second. Another wild pitch, his second of the game.
He made a real good pitch to Brian earlier in the count on a changeup that Brian was out in front of and fouled off. So he thought he might even make a better one, and it was not.
Dan's got good speed, runs the base as well. A hit means a run for Atlanta, perhaps. The Braves up 2-zip. Now full count.
Well, he's done that more than once tonight, too.
McCann walks, and Simmons will hit. Andrelton's 2-for-2 tonight. And Joe put the kibosh on him. Yeah, first walk. And Dan Warthen, the Mets pitching coach, out for a visit.
When we were talking to John Sherholtz, as you were pointing out, Chip, about how the organization is in good hands talent-wise as Chipper rides off into the sunset at the end of the season. At that particular time, Andrelton Simmons lined a base hit to left field. He continues to impress me with the strength of his hands and how strong he is in getting the barrel of the bat out there for a guy who has so little major league experience. He's playing like a guy who's got 3 or 4 years under his belt and doesn't miss too many fastballs.
And maybe another secret weapon come playoff time. A lot of clubs that the Braves could be facing haven't seen much of Simmons. We may not have a very thick book against him on the pitcher's mound. Strike 1 with 2 outs in the 6th. If Simmons reaches, that'll end the night for Mike Minor. Eric Hinski's grabbed the bat. To first, and Lucas Duda wins the race to the bag. No runs, 1 hit, a couple of Braves are left, and we are through 6 at Turner Field.
Freeze cam. And the cold train. How about this? I mean, remember in spring training, the first thing anybody started talking about was Andrelton Simmons' instincts. Look where he goes to get this pop-up and make this diving catch. Unbelievable, as he was able to determine and read right away that Jose Constanza had broken back on that pop-up, was in trouble, and he was going to have to make the play. More evidence of his reactions, his instincts, and how good they are in this game. That was the Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, my beer.
So Minor back out there for the 7th. Andres Torres leads off for the Mets. He has one of their 2 hits. Punched a single into right field on an 0-2 count.
I'm glad Mike's getting another inning because I'm enjoying watching him pitch.
Braves bullpen continues to work. Atlanta up 2-0. We'll see how long a leash Mike's allowed here in this inning. That was his 85th pitch. And Luis Avilan has joined Durbin in the pen.
That was a good 0-2 pitch. Brian McCann wanted it upstairs. High fastball. Didn't quite get it up high enough as Torres got a piece of it. A good pitch.
Even better when retires him. 4th strikeout for Mike Minor. And here's a look at his night tonight.
Well, as you said, Chip, he's only given up 2 hits. Got David Wright there on that first inning check swing. Got a double play turn behind him in the 2nd. And really made a good pitch there to James Cedeno. He's just been sharp. He hasn't walked anybody and using all his pitches. Another terrific performance. He's 3-0 in 4 starts in September coming in.
And Joe, you made that point about Minor. The biggest difference in his season, fastball command, which led to more strikes, which has led to fewer walks, which has led to easier innings and obviously better results.
And greater confidence. Getting good results.
Wright drives this ball deep right center. Constanza on the run, can't get it, and it's going to bounce off the warning track and into the seats for a ground rule double. So Wright ties Martin Prado in the doubles category.
Yes, he does. He's got 41 now. And when they moved the fences in Citi Field in New York, you think, okay, you got to move him in left field for David Wright. Not necessarily. If you move him in right center, you would help him considerably, because this is where he has tremendous power to right center.
He's a real good player, and a real good pitcher is going to get a real good salute. Last home start for Mike Minor in the regular season. He leaves leading 2-0. David Wright at second with 1 out in the 7th. Bullpen will try to protect a 2-0 lead in the 7th inning. There's Mike's line. 88 pitches, 62 strikes.
Didn't see that too often. First 6-8 starts of the year, did you?
No.
Especially the 0 in the walk column.
So it's Chad Durbin who answers the AT&T call to the bullpen. And he's got Scott Hairston ready to go to work with 1 on and 1 man out.
One of the things he's been very good at this year, inherited runners. 43 of them for Chad Durbin. Only 11 have scored. Last 60 appearances, a 1.89 ERA and a 2.02 batting average against him.
Ball, no strikes to Scott Hairston as we've reached 9 o'clock in Atlanta. Braves try to subdue a Mets club that's playing their best baseball of the second half right now. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. Braves are beating them 2-0 with just 3 hits. High fly ball to right. Jason Hayward will track that down. Sets up nicely. And no advance by David Wright. 2 outs. Durbin gets the first man. An important stat. And Delta Airlines, the proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves, will board our Delta charter after the game here tomorrow afternoon and make our final regular season trip up to Pittsburgh to face the Pirates. So it's 1 and done for Chad Durbin. He retires Hairston on a fly ball. And Luis Avilan will be summoned to get Lucas Duda in a 2-0 Braves game. Situation, David Wright at second after doubling with 1 out against Mike Minor. And Luis Avilan answers the AT&T bullpen call and is the 3rd pitcher of the inning for the Braves. And he has had a great rookie season.
Worked himself right into a real solid spot for postseason work, quite possibly. And he's been very effective against lefties.
And he balks. He stumbled and balked. So David Wright moves up to 3rd base.
Caught his spikes on the way down. Very JoJo Reyes-like.
So a little more pressure on Brian McCann now. The runner at third as Duda takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Left-hander's just 9 for 45 against Avilan. A homer, 5 walks, 14 strikeouts.
This guy did damage in the 7th last night. Let's not see a repeat tonight. And Letters evens the count.
94 on that fastball too. Oh, mercy. I have no idea what was wrong with that.
It was too curvy. 2-1 pitch. Almost the same spot. 2-2.
Well, Paul Nauert got hit in the chin, hit in the jaw earlier tonight, so we're going to cut him some slack.
Swing and a miss. Duda is struck out, and David Wright left standing at third base. The Braves continue to spin a shutout. 2-0 your score as we enter the 7th inning stretch. Two nothing. The Braves will try to finish off the Mets tonight and then go after the dancing man Chris Medlin as he tries to chase down another victory for this Braves ball club. Third final game of the series, final home game of regular season play tomorrow. Mets and Braves baseball beginning tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Sports South. And here's our Jamison in upcoming starter.
He is the guy who has been put in a position rotation wise to pitch on Friday, next Friday in the wild card game, if that's where the Braves wind up. And why not? 11 starts, 8-0, 1.04 ERA, and the lowest ERA in Major League Baseball since the 1st of July. He goes tomorrow.
Eric Hinske grabs a bat, and he will pinch hit for Luis Avilan. The Mets go to their bullpen as well tonight. Chris Young went 6 innings of 2-run baseball. He didn't pitch badly at all. And it's right-hander Elvin Ramirez.
Low 90s fastball, 91 to 93 miles an hour, and a good changeup. Also has a slider.
ball, 1 strike for Eric. Mean to and is behind the count. Washington still leading the Cardinals 4-0 as you see Ramirez's line for the season. That game in the 6th inning at Busch Stadium.
And some squirrely things happening there. Got to tell you about when we get a chance.
Low, 2-2. All those runs for Washington came in the 1st inning against Kyle Loesch. Jordan Zimmerman started for Washington tonight. And Hinsky's down on strikes. Ramirez retires his first man. So here's that squirrely stuff.
Mike Morse going the other way. Hits off the wall or does it? Everybody was running like they thought it was a homer, and then they thought it was a single, and Morse is trying to go back to first. Foot race. He's tagged out. And then the umpires meet. Looks like Jeff Nelson, I think. When in actuality, the ball, as you see, will go over the fence and bounce back onto the field. So it was a grand slam.
Costanza will reach first after Ramirez dropped the baseball.
But the squirrely part is just beginning in St. Louis.
Base hit for Jose.
Once they determined it was a home run, I haven't seen the video, but I'm told the umpires had everybody go back to their original position. Morse back to home plate without a bat and take a phantom swing as if he hit a ball, and then he got to trot around the bases for the grand slam.
Really?
I've never heard of such.
I can't wait to see that tonight. I just wish it had been a Cardinal that had done it.
I can't wait to hear Bob Carpenter's second call of that.
Martin proud of the batter. Martin a couple of doubles tonight. He scored a 1st inning run. His 60th multi-hit game this season. And now Costanza with his great speed, a chance to be up and running here in the Atlanta 7th. He's going. Good jump. Macias' throw, short hops, and got it. I didn't think they had a chance, but what a throw.
Especially when the throw landed about 10 feet behind the mound, but that one hop, when it came down right on the bag. He got a good pitch to throw on, but threw it straight down, and then look at the one hop right into the bag and got him.
That's a bummer. 2 outs. And Prado behind in the count, 0-1. Tommy Glavine said last night there was a play at first base Tejada made that skipped off the grass and the ball actually slowed down on the grass. That time it sped up like you see on AstroTurf. So Costanza erased. 2 outs. And Martin again, a 1-2 pitch coming. Boy, hitting with 2 strikes is part of the job of being a number 2 hitter, isn't it?
Definitely is. A double, a strikeout, a double, and another 1-2 count. Sometimes it appears that Martin takes that pitch right out of the catcher's glove. He lets it travel so far, so deep, before he reacts to it. Just trusting your hands.
This one skied into shallow center. And Torres is there. And that retires the side. On we go to the 8th. The Braves protect a 2-0 lead over the Mets. Summary.
Braves got on the board in the first inning. A double by Martin Prado with one out. Wild pitch got him to third. And then on a 3-2 count, Jason Hayward put it in play for the infield back. The run came across. Braves up 1-0. Then in the 5th, Martin involved again. Simmons had led off with single, bunted to second, and Martin almost hit one out of here as he doubled off the wall to bring Andrelton in. And that's where we stand, 2-0.
Mike Minor was terrific. And is in line to win his 11th game of the season tonight. As the Braves are again into their bullpen. This time it's Johnny Venters answering the AT&T call. He'll face Jason Bay to start the inning.
He had a good outing here 2 days ago and went 2 innings. Gave up a hit, struck out 2.
Venters one of 2 changes for the Braves in this inning. And a line drive over first by Jason Bay. Hayward cuts it off. Bay a big turn and slams on the brakes. Tying run to the plate with nobody out. There's the other change. Reed Johnson's the new center fielder. I'm guessing Johnson's going to bat 9th.
Yes, there was a double switch.
So Ronnie Cedeno, the batter. Former Cub, the former Pirate, and current Met is 0 for 2. Double play ball. Simmons to Ugler for 1. Freeman for 2.
Time for our Zaxby's indescribably good play, and this is perfect time for it. Taylor made double play, went to one knee. Andrelton made sure he was in front of it, gave Dan a good feed. Easy 6-4-3.
Now Terry Collins goes to his bench. And this is Kelly Shopik. Started the year with the Red Sox. Now wrapping up the year in New York. And that went right back where it came from. Second hit of the inning allowed by Venters. And Justin Turner grabs the bat. Turner has 12 pinch hits this year. He has 6 pinch RBIs as well. And he represents the tying run. He's only hit a couple of home runs this season. And Venters skips ball 1 to the plate. To second, and an easy play for Uggla. Venters works a scoreless 8th inning. Last at bat of the night coming up for Chipper Jones. He leads off the 8th.
Coors Light cold hard fact, and tonight it's all-time home runs hit here at Turner Field by the Braves. Chipper Jones at the top of that list. Andrew Jones still second at 166. Brian McCann has moved into a tie with Javi Lopez for third with 79 home runs each at Turner Field. Cold hard fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Changes for New York as the Braves bat in the 8th inning. Kalishapik, you see, puts on the catcher's gear. He's behind the plate. And number 52, Ramon Ramirez, is on to pitch.
He's another part of the deal that sent Angel Pagan to the Giants, where he's really been a big part of their success this year. Torres, the center fielder, and Ramon Ramirez came from San Francisco to New York.
So that's the new Mets battery, and I misspoke a moment ago. Chipper's due second in this 8th inning. Jason Hayward will lead off for the Braves. He has a first inning RBI tonight, his 80th of the year. And a big cut, strike 1.
Ramirez low 90s with his fastball. He also has a change and a good slider.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Jason could use a hit. He's 3 for his last 17.
Won't happen in the Atlanta 8th. Hayward rolls out. And another big cheer for Chipper. How is it possible to not hear and see what's going on around Chipper Jones?
Hard to block that out.
A player that's done all he has done. Chipper was incredibly candid in the papers today. He said that with all the hoopla of last night, he said his arms, his legs, whole body was numb. He said it's the first time he's felt like a rookie since he was a rookie. Here he is, 40-year-old man, trying to bow out with one last great playoff run for the Braves.
A good off-speed pitch here from Ramirez. 2, maybe 3 straight change-ups.
To first. Oh, tricky hop and a nice play by Duda. And Chipper is out number 2. That's his last at bat of the night. And now Freddie Freeman, the batter. And here's something you often see when the great player has his last at bat of the night. Some of the fans start making their way toward the concourse. I haven't gotten the attendance yet tonight. Last night, Braves drew 51,910.
Good timing.
And the crowd tonight, 48,310. 4th sellout of the year for the Braves. And those who are left will see Craig Kimbrell pitch the top of the 9th.
Yeah, those people ought to stop in their tracks. See the Cy Young candidate.
And a swing and a miss. Ramon Ramirez very impressive in his inning of relief. Kimbrell time in Atlanta. The Braves are up 2 after 8 innings. by Checkers, by Toyota, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Braves 2, the Mets nothing after 8 innings. Let's revisit our trivia question tonight. Giving you folks in Braves country a long time to think about this one. What 2 players hold the record for most career homers as a visiting player in Atlanta?
I'm going Barry Bonds and Willie Stargell.
I'm going to ride your coattails.
Okay.
And you are totally wrong.
I have very short coattails.
Craig Kimbrell time. And he's got the top of the Mets order in the 9th inning. Johnny Bench, Willie McCovey. What careers they had, and what career work Craig Kimbrell's already piling up as the Braves closer.
I think that's the first time Bench has made our trivia question.
98 on the first fastball to Tejada.
He's had a couple of days rest. Last worked against Miami on the 26th. Got his 40th save. That was the night he struck out 4 in 1 inning.
Ground ball right side. Ugla couldn't handle cleanly. E4 on Ugla, and Kimbrell will go to the stretch. And Daniel Murphy's going to pinch hit.
Just squirted out of his glove. It's amazing that they even got a base runner on, but the Braves had to make a mistake to get somebody on because he has really pitched great against New York this year. Take a look at this line. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Out of the 12 outs he's recorded, 10 by strikeouts against New York this year.
Yeah, you're right. Contact is very rare against Kimbrell. Not just hits, but contact at all. Braves press notes tell us as that pitch sails way outside and all the way to the backstop. 102 of the last 163 outs recorded by Kimbrell have been strikeouts. We're having some trouble here in the 9th inning.
Just a bit outside.
So Tejada at second after the error and wild pitch. Murphy in a hitter's count, 2-0. You've got Wright and Hairston to follow. Don't forget they have Ike Davis on the bench too, and he's their team home run leader. Kimbrell back even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Left-handers against Craig Kimbrell this year hitting a cool 113. 12 for 106. 58 strikeouts.
High fly ball toward left, but Prado's got room. And no advance by Tejada. There's some good news here in the 9th. Good news in St. Louis. Cardinals are coming back on Washington. They have 2 on with 1 out and trail 4-2 in the 7th inning.
You get in the Nats bullpen, funny things begin to happen.
David Wright, the batter. Wright has doubled, popped out, and struck out. That pop out was the highlight play by Andrelton Simmons. Strike one to Wright.
0 for 4, 3 strikeouts in his career. And a little tardy on that pitch.
One ball, one strike. Ike Davis, as we expected, lurks in the on-deck circle. That's unhittable. In that spot, no chance.
It is at 98. Up and in. Even for a good hitter, that's a tough one.
Wright took that out of McCann's glove.
Yeah, it's defensive swing number 104.
That was a 100-mile-an-hour pitch that Wright spoiled. Whoa! Remember John Kruk against Randy Johnson in the All-Star game?
Yeah.
This is the right-handed version, perhaps.
And the trouble with that is you just have so little time to react. I mean, that ball was already by David Wright by the time he actually got out of the way.
And that might have hit Wright. It got the umpire for sure. And down on a knee is Paul Nauert. I don't know if McCann got a glove on it. It hit Wright first.
Yeah, it hit. Paul Nauert took one off the chin or jaw early in the game. Off the hip, and then, oh my gosh, right in the neck. Goodness.
So Jim Lovell, the Braves assistant athletic trainer, out to talk with Nauert. The Mets training staff out to talk to David Wright. I'm not sure where that got Wright. Did that get him on the left hip, or was it the right leg?
I think he's twisting around like he hurt his back trying to get out of the way of it. That's what it appears that he's trying to do. I mean, it was a glancing blow off the leg, but Wright appeared to hurt himself trying to get out of the way.
And that camera angle was sort of awkward. It looked like it got him on the left hip, but I thought it might have gotten him on the right leg. Wherever it got him flush. And you see the welt on Nauert's neck. As the Mets seeing if David Wright's going to be able to continue.
What Paul Nauert, very fortunate that wasn't worse than it was, and I think it was pretty bad as it is.
So Terry Collins satisfied that Wright can continue. And the Mets have runners first and second now with only one out. Ike Davis, the batter. All of a sudden, this game's A little too close for comfort.
Boy, good numbers for him against Craig. Not too many people can claim that.
th pinch hit appearance for Davis this year. He has 5 hits.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those hits off Craig have been as a pinch hitter, though, sitting cold on the bench for 9 innings.
Well, he doesn't run well. If you get the ball on the ground, you might end the game with a double play. Craig's pitching a little angry right now. He's got Davis behind 0-2. Two outs.
Hard to have any sense of timing when you come off the bench to pinch hit and have to come off and catch up to that. Is mighty tough. I'm not sure Ike Davis realized that was strike 3. He stood there for a second until he looked at the scoreboard like he thought maybe it was strike 2.
Lucas Duda, the Mets' final hope.
He's taking Craig Kimbrell deep, and we saw enough of him last night. We don't need any more of that.
Outside corner, 1-2.
He's reined it in. He was missing to that right-handed batter's box, even on the wild pitch, and then on the hit batsman. But he has reined it in.
Strike came out, and the Braves have won it 2-0. Braves twirl their 15th shutout this season. They beat the Mets 2-0 and even the series, and put a little pressure on the Nationals, who find themselves in a tight game in St. Louis. Braves 2, Mets 0. More from Turner Field right after this.